Margaret Trost went to Port-au-Prince on a 2-week volunteer trip, hoping the experience would help her move out of the grief she struggled with after her husband's unexpected death at age of 36. The faith, courage, and love of the Haitians she met helped her heal, opened her eyes to the reality of widespread hunger and suffering so close to the U.S., and led to the discovery of her life's calling. Margaret shares this remarkable journey in her book, On That Day, Everybody Ate, one woman's story of hope and possibility in Haiti, which is this year's Wire book. Since the founding of the What If Foundation in 2000, a nonprofit she founded after visiting Haiti for the first time, Margaret has raised over $1.5 million to support a food program for children, which serves over 7,500 meals every week, tuition for the schooling of nearly 200 girls and boys, an after-school program, and an annual summer camp for 450 children. Most of this money has come from the individuals who have been moved by her story, passionate commitment, and powerful first-hand accounts of the devastating conditions in Haiti. A gifted and inspirational speaker, she has many years of experience addressing groups of all sizes and is equally at ease on television and radio, and in workshops, lectures, and conferences. Margaret received a bachelor's degree in communications from the Pennsylvania State University, graduating Phi Beta Kappa. She received a master's degree in journalism from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Last year, she received an honorary doctorate from the University of San Francisco for her work in Haiti. Margaret started her career in public television and then switched to working at a nonprofit that focused on community development. Soon after, she started a home-based business that sold nutrition and health products so that she could stay at home with her young son. Now her son is 22, she is remarried, and lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. While she still has her home-based business, she spends most of her time on the What If Foundation. When Margaret's not working on projects for the What If Foundation, she loves to indulge in a bowl of mint chocolate chip ice cream, watch The Voice, and walk to the ocean with her husband to see dolphins and seals. In addition, she enjoys taking care of her flowers and spending time with her family. Wingate University is so fortunate to hear Ms. Trost speak about her experiences in Haiti. She is such an inspiration to all of us. Personally, I am inspired and touched by her story because of my grandpa's missionary work in the areas of Haiti. Her story parallels that of my family and how we too have been touched by the Haitian people. Please join me in welcoming Margaret Trost to Wingate University.
Beautiful job.
Oh, great job. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Shelby, for that introduction, and thank you all for coming out. Wow, look at, we were like full, all the way from the front to the back. It is such an honor to be here. I've been looking forward to this for months and months, ever since I got the invitation to come, and I was told that you were gonna read my book, those of you who are a freshman, and it was gonna be your summer reading. And I was like, wow, that's really an honor, and that you would read it, that it was selected, that you took that time, and that you're here tonight. So I'm really excited about the next 45 minutes that we'll spend together, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. And what I thought I would do tonight is share some pictures and some of my experiences. So those of you who have not read the book, some of it will be, it'll be all woven together. So those of you who have read it or haven't will be able to follow me as I share my experiences in Haiti, how the Haitian people have transformed my life, what I've learned from them, and how some of those lessons I think will be so important for you as young leaders, as students who are just in that precious time of discerning your life's path and what that next step is. As you're thinking about majors, as you're wondering what classes to take next, as you're asking those questions about your life's purpose or what direction. And so perhaps some of the things I'll share tonight will help you as you follow the call of your heart. First, before I start, let me just tell you how I am such a Wingate fan. I love your campus. I think it is so beautiful. I love the pictures of the Bulldogs and feel like Bulldog pride. I'm with you. I know you have great athletic teams and just a beautiful history. As I was walking through your campus to see the sign that said faith, knowledge, and service, right there, your values just in front of you as you walk from class to class, reminding you of those three very important things. I really appreciated the decorations and the trees that you made for my arrival. I thought that was just so sweet that you decorated the trees for me. Thank you. I also heard you had your homecoming and that's a tradition, and I thought you did quite an extraordinary job. And it was very fun to see and was reminding me of my college days. So you have a very special place to learn, and I can feel kind of the pulse of Wingate just coming from the heart. I could tell from the way I've been so graciously welcomed and by your hospitality and openness what a very special place you have to be these years, and how special your faculty is. So you're blessed with where you are, and I just wanted you to know that I can feel that. And so thank you for this time together. So I thought I'd begin with this question, what if? Which, as you heard from Shelby, is the name of the foundation that I founded about 15 years ago, the What If Foundation. And I just think it's a powerful question to ask as you go through life. Now, there's two sides to that question, and I have lived in both of those sides and sometimes go back and forth. The what if that I had in mind when I named my foundation that was the what if of possibilities. The what if of, what if I could do that? What if I could help? What if there was a way to help hungry children? What if, like that what if of possibilities. I also know the other side of that question. What if I can't do it? What if it's a disaster? What am I thinking about? What if it doesn't work out? What if, what if, what if? So there's like a what if, and there's like a what if. And I think in life we just gotta sort out how we balance the two and try to stay in the what if of possibilities as much as possible, because the what if of it not working out can really drag you down. So this what if is about hope. It's about possibilities. It's about asking a question where you don't know the answer, but you feel drawn in some way to try to place yourself into that question and take action for something, to create something of beauty, something of hope, something that could make a difference. What if? So it was that question that brought me to Haiti. Because for those of you who read the book, and as Shelby shared, when I went to Haiti the first time, I went at a time where I was struggling, at a time where I was suffering, at a time where I was lost. I'd lost direction. I wasn't sure of my future. I'm a planner, so I had goals and plans, and I had it all mapped out, and I thought that I knew where life was taking me. And then when my husband, Rich Tanaka, passed away suddenly, without warning, unexpectedly, in 5 minutes he was gone of an asthma attack at the age of 36. My world just stopped for a while, and I was flattened and devastated, as you can imagine. And here, I'm sure the loss of somebody unexpectedly has touched each of your lives in one way or another, through a friend or personally, so you know what I'm saying when something comes in and it takes your breath away and your heart sinks and you wonder how you're going to move forward. And so that's kind of the place I was in when I went to Haiti, because all my plans were gone and I needed to create new ones, but I didn't have that spark inside. I didn't have that energy that lifts you up. I didn't have that clarity of where I was going. I just was like stuck in a swamp and kind of feeling depressed and wandering. It was a time, though, where I was really open, because I didn't have any plans, because I didn't know. where I was headed, and I was doing the best to take care of my 5-year-old son. And I prayed for guidance, and I wondered what was next, and I knew there had to be something that would help me take that experience of losing my partner, my husband, my son's father, to take that somehow and to move forward with that experience in a way that could benefit others somehow, and I didn't know how. But I was open and I was listening. And so when the invitation to go to Haiti came along, it was so out of the blue that I paid attention. And sometimes those out of the blue things that come into your life, you're like, what? Pay attention. Those things that help you stop for a second because, there's something that lights up inside. But you never imagined it in a million years, but it stops you and you're curious. Pay attention to those. So when the invitation to go to Haiti came, I stopped and I thought, maybe there's something there. Haiti's so out of the blue coming into my life. I don't know anything about Haiti. I know it's in the Caribbean somewhere. I know that it's a country that has had a very difficult history. I know that it's a place where people have suffered and where there's great hunger and some economic great challenges, but that's about all I knew. And I thought, but maybe this is a sign, maybe this is a direction. So I looked into this invitation to go to Haiti where I would be able to volunteer at a hospice. And I thought, I was just with Rich in those days those minutes where he was dying. I've been next to someone who's passed away. Maybe I could take that experience and use that to sit with people who are dying of AIDS and tuberculosis at a hospice in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. That's what I was being invited to do. I thought maybe I can use this experience and help somebody else. And I've learned, as I'm sure you have too, that sometimes when you're struggling, it's in the act of helping other people. It's in the act of getting out of your own world and your own suffering and reaching out to others that you heal. It's by doing something for someone else that you can move forward and that healing comes through the act of serving another person versus staying isolated in your own suffering. So at some level, I knew that to be true, and I felt if I could just get on that plane and go to Port-au-Prince, that there was something there that would help me through the tricky road I was on in recovering from my grief, and at the same time, I could help others, and so it would be a mutual helping. And so I said yes to that trip. And I flew to Haiti, which I knew was in the Caribbean, somewhere near Cuba, but wasn't sure exactly where, but you see it there, sharing an island with the Dominican Republic. So there's Haiti, and I flew, at the time I moved from Wisconsin to San Francisco, so I flew from the San Francisco area to Miami, which you see up there just at the tip of Florida. And then I took a flight that was just about an hour and 35 minutes to Port-au-Prince. And here's a close-up of Haiti, and you can see Port-au-Prince, the capital, right over there on the right. And there were 12 other people with me on this trip, which they called a reverse mission trip, and that intrigued me. Our guide said that the lives of the Haitians will transform you, Margaret. Their lives will change you. So we're going to be there accompanying those who are suffering, but know that you're bringing that companionship, that accompaniment, that spirit of solidarity and love and compassion there, yes, and their lives will transform you. It's mutual. So I went. Now, Haiti is a very beautiful country. It's in the Caribbean where people go to travel. There's incredible, beautiful beaches like this one. I just took this picture a few days ago because I just flew back from Haiti on Saturday. I was just there. There's beautiful bougainvillea and other flowers of the tropics. It's a very beautiful country with lots of mountains and sunshine and a culture that's rich and deep and people full of heart, lots of beauty. And also, as you may know, the most underdeveloped country in the Western Hemisphere, where there is hunger, great hunger every day by many, many, many people. Where in Port-au-Prince, this neighborhood where we went on that original trip, where there aren't paved roads or sewage systems or running water or electricity. Where many people live in abject poverty, like this little girl who lives in an area of Port-au-Prince called Cité Soleil, which I wrote about in my book, for those of you who read it. Where this mother and her daughter and her granddaughter, all living together, many people, more than just those three in that house, made out of metal and cardboard and whatever scraps can be put together for shelter. And where this little boy is standing in front of his home without running water or electricity, and which is close to the ocean, very close, right on the edge. And you know that Haiti is in kind of a hurricane zone. We thank God that there have been no hurricanes this hurricane season that have gone by Haiti, but you can imagine when the waters rise and when it rains, that this ground gets full of water and turns to mud and can even wash away the homes depending upon how the seas rise. And so it's a very difficult place to live. So I saw that level of poverty, which was greater than what I'd ever seen in my life growing up in the Midwest, in a middle-class family in inner city Chicago. And it really did break my heart open. I didn't realize that there was such a level of hunger and of health care challenges, and just one doctor for every 10 or 20,000 people, depending upon where you are in Haiti, and so many children that I saw as I walked through the streets that reminded me of our son, Luke, who is now 8 at the time, and I just saw him in the eyes of all these children. I wanted to respond, and I didn't know how. One of the days in the trip, we went to this church called St. Clair's, and the church was packed with people. There was standing room only, and the priest of the church, Father Gerard Jean Juste, was there, and I couldn't understand anything that he said. He was speaking Creole, which is Haiti's language. But there was great hope and great joy and great passion, and I didn't know what he said in this sermon, but I knew it had to be good because people were standing up and their arms were waving, and there was a call and response, and I was like, wow, who is that guy? And just a couple days later, he came and spoke to our group about Haiti's history, about Haiti being the first Black republic in the world, the only country that had a successful slave revolution that kicked out the slave masters and began its own course in history as a free nation, the first. That they were very proud of their history, that they had deep roots to their African line and lineage, that they had tremendous faith, deep faith that gave them strength and resilience and courage to overcome obstacle after obstacle, deep wells of faith that they drew on to be able to handle the challenges that the country had faced for 2 centuries. And he talked about hope, and he talked about economic possibilities, and as part of his conversation, someone asked him about hunger. And he said, I have a vision for a food program for the hungry children in my community. They come up to me every day and they say, "Magrengu," which means I'm hungry in Creole. And he described how it broke his heart that he didn't have the food to feed them. And he just said this kind of in passing, and it just kind of floated off in the wind, except when I heard it, there was something inside of me that lit up. There was something inside of me that asked that question, what if? What if I could help him make that vision a reality? What if there's something I could do all the way from California, except the other what if side kicked in, but I don't know any French, and I can't remember it from high school or college, and I live so far away, and it doesn't really make any sense, and I never really studied international relations, and I don't really know anything about economic development, and there was all sorts of doubts that came in there. But that other what if, like what if there's something here for you to do? And I paid attention to my heart, which was kind of leaping with possibility and with kind of knocking on me saying, listen, pay attention to this. Hold this in your heart. There's something here. And so I went home and I shared the story of Father Jerry, Jean Just, the story of what I saw in Haiti about the Haitian people, about their faith and courage, about the poverty that I saw, and about this vision for a food program that he had, and wondering, was there anything that I could do to help? And some seed money arrived, and it came quite miraculously, as you read in the book, and I sent it down, and within 3 weeks, this food program started. And I found out about it because there was that email that came out of nowhere, mixed in with a million other emails, all these other emails, because I was running my home-based business, and emails about my son's kindergarten going on, or I think he was in first grade at the time. And then in the midst of all those emails, there's this email. It started. And then it said something like, "Dear Margaret, from 200 children last week, there's 400 today. The food program is wonderful. People are pouring on us." And my favorite line of that email, "There is great hope." And I thought, wow, they just got the check, and within 3 weeks, the food program has started, and there is great hope. And I was on fire, and my heart is leaping, and I'm feeling just inspired. And I send that email out, just the way we can do that these days, just forward it on. And people started to want to be part of this because they could feel like their dollars, their 50 cents for a meal, could get to the St. Clair's community in Port-au-Prince and help pay for a meal to keep that food program that just started going. And so that's how it all started. It started going there, searching for a way to heal my heart, and the Haitian people welcomed me in, and through their act of love and welcoming me in, my heart did heal. But it was when Father Jean Just shared that vision, and I asked the question, what if, and we were able to partner together, that I really felt like I had a new purpose in life, a new direction, some place to go, to take the pain that I had experienced and to use it and move forward in a new way, to give and to grow. And so we began working together. This is one of my favorite Creole sayings, "Menan pil chai palu." And this is one of the lessons I want to leave with you tonight, a very important one in whatever line of work you choose, in whatever way that you share your heart, in whatever call you hear to follow. Remember, menan pil chai palu. Many hands make the load lighter. We're here to work together. We're here to help each other. We're here to join our hands as one to make a difference in whatever way you feel that light up within you. Many hands together. And that's how the What If Foundation was able to grow, and that's how the programs in Haiti were able to grow. Not because I did anything alone, and not because Father Jerry worked alone, but because we worked together. The community of T Plus Caso, where the St. Clair's Church is located, that community coming together, and all the people that I knew, and as those emails got spread, all the people on this end sharing what they could, whether it was $1 or $10 or $50 or whatever it was, all of that came together. Many hands made those meals possible. So it was a very unique and beautiful partnership that required a lot of people coming together. These are the first two cooks, Mamidette and Nanen. You read about them. They volunteered their time and they prepared the meals with great love that were served to the children, using the resources that I was able to send down. And they worked together, many hands together, to serve the meal, passing the plates down through a line, person to person, and then to a hungry child. And the children came from all over the neighborhood. Some walked 5 miles from Cité Soleil, those pictures I showed you earlier. In fact, just last week when I was at the food program, I talked to a mother who was there with her child, and they came miles and miles for that meal. She said sometimes she took all day to come to the meal and get home, but to have that hot meal of rice and beans and vegetables all purchased at the farmer's market so it supports the local economy, to have that meal served with love, to be in that community of other people sharing and eating together. She would take all day to bring her child so she knew her child would have that food. So this meal has been served now for almost 15 years, starting just 1 day a week and then expanding to 2 days and then 3 and then 4 and 5 meals a week, which is what it's been at for several years. And as you see, this little girl, she's bringing some home. So sometimes half the meal they eat and then the other half they put in a container to bring home to siblings or to a grandmother or a parent, or perhaps to eat later. And the cooks keep cooking now every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, getting fresh vegetables, as many nutrients as they can put into that meal. They'll put in great love, great care, great time, moving slowly and authentically and deeply to pour their hearts into that meal, to then serve to the children that started out with 200 and then 400 and then 500 and then 800 and then 1,000, and it's been somewhere between 1,000 and 1,600 meals a day over the last several years. Here's a little boy saving some of his to take home. And here's another Creole saying, a Creole proverb that I want you to take with you, that will apply to you in any course of career you choose, in any aspect of life. This is great wisdom here, this Haitian proverb. Petit petit n'arrive. That means little by little we will arrive. Haitians value the small steps, the little acts, the little bits, each one of us doing a little bit. I have to say, in the United States, a lot of the time it's about big is better. It's about get there fast. It's about I want it now. It's about moving so quickly that you kind of miss the moment. We are a society that is speeding so quickly we can hardly catch our breath. At least that's the case in my world. I wonder, is it resonate at all for you guys, or am I kind of in another world out there on the West Coast? Did things move pretty quickly here? You are in the South, though. And that's something that there is a little bit of a slower pace I've heard, which is a beautiful thing, right? But is it moving a little fast here? And you feel sometimes that you're like, can I catch my breath, please? Can we just go a little slower? Do we have to always do things so big, better, faster? So this is a big deal. I have this taped on my computer. For 15 years I've been looking at this. I'm still working on it. We've got to value the small steps towards change. Small steps taken with love. Small steps taken from a place of compassion and wisdom. Small steps for change. And I really feel with all of the challenges that we see in our world, right here locally, within our states, across our nation, and across the world, the problems are so big. They can be so scary. They can be so confusing. We could think, oh, there's nothing I can do. It's just too big. I might as well just kind of get in my own cocoon and just do my own little thing. And if we think of them just as so huge that they require some huge, gigantic solution, we might be frozen thinking there's nothing we can do. But what the Haitian people teach us is each one of us has a role in this world to make a difference. And that role is small steps. Take the small steps that you can take. Take the small steps that are available to you and value them, just the little things that you can do. And as you read in the book, Father Jerry said, sometimes we go backwards. Have any of you ever gone backwards? I'm here to tell you, I have gone backwards many times. But then if you remember what he said, it's important to keep taking them because you'll start going forwards again. But value the small and value your contribution, which is essential for a difference in this world. Each one of us is here to use our lives to make a difference. So each one of you has a special role to play. It's a critical role. It's just as important as anybody else's role. There's no one role better than another role. We're all here to use our lives to contribute to this planet, and every one of us needs to show up in that, and all of us are equally important. So take the small steps. And these are the small steps that we've taken at the What If Foundation in partnership with our Haitian friends, beginning with this little girl. She is the cutest thing of all time. She's one of the young kindergartners who received a school scholarship. We started with the food program. We expanded to be able to provide resources for scholarships. And we started with just a handful because we just had enough money for just a few scholarships so the kids could go to school. But then it grew step by step over the years, little by little, as the word spread and as I was able to raise more resources and as people forwarded on those emails and different people did fundraisers and money started to come in so there could be a few more scholarships the next year and then a few more, little by little. Now there's about we're in the 160s, like 163, I think, is what we have this year of scholarships of students in school and elementary and high school, and one medical school student and a handful of others in technical school, little by little over the years. An after-school program was also started where students are having the opportunity to learn how to use computers. To go to school in Haiti, a lot of the classes require internet research and papers that are printed out on, printers. And but if you don't have electricity in your home and you don't have a computer, then how are you going to print out your papers? How are you going to research for that? So this after-school program that we fund and that our Haitian partners run so beautifully allows students to have access. There's also a wonderful summer camp that has started and gone on for more than a decade that helps the students and the kids that come learn different skills. Haiti has so many incredible artists, has such beautiful crafts that they make, and so a lot of these kids learn crafts so that they perhaps might be able to use those skills to earn an income for their lives and for their families. And of course, the food program, little by little, has grown. Here's another saying I want you to know about and to remember as you go on in your life. Kenbe fem. It means hold on. Stand firm, hang in there, be strong. Because regardless of what path you take in your life, you're going to come into some obstacles. There will be challenges. Just count on it. And I'm sure you know already, you've had many. There will be more. We don't want to be all worried and stressed out about it, but it's part of being human. If you think things are supposed to be on a smooth road, then, you'll be disappointed. Because that's just not the way it is. We learn and we grow, and often a lot of our greatest learning is because of the obstacles, because of the challenges. We learn our resilience. We learn about how much courage we have. We learn about how much faith we have. We learn about how much resilience we have. We become more creative when we're challenged, more innovative, and challenges are hard, and each one of us here in this room has had so many challenges already. Well, there just will be more, and that's just part of life. And I've needed to learn that so I can just embrace them when they come and work through them instead of being shocked and disappointed if there's one that comes along. One of our greatest challenges in What If Foundation history was when Father Jerry passed away in 2009. So as you know, he was the spiritual leader of the community of St. Clair's, and for the poor in Haiti, he was considered their Martin Luther King Jr. So when he died of a lung disorder in May of 2009, it was devastating for everybody in the St. Clair's neighborhood, for all of us at the What If Foundation, and for people around the world who were inspired by his passion for the poor, for his advocacy, for his quest for social justice, for his putting Jesus' teachings of standing alongside of the poor into action every single day, for his tremendous courage to speak out against injustice, for all of the prophetic things that he shared. A great loss, and we wondered if the programs could continue. And 7 months later, there was the earthquake in January of 2010, where nearly 300,000 Haitians died. And our partners have told us that pretty much everybody in Haiti knew someone who died in the earthquake. It affected everybody's lives, and 1.5 million right away, 1.5 million people right away were in tents. That's how many were displaced because of the earthquake. And as you can see, these tents aren't the kind of tents that you would get at a REI or a tent store. They're tents made up of whatever they could find, tarps and sheets and clothes sewn together, whatever they could find to provide shelter. There are still tens of thousands of people still living in tents in Port-au-Prince. I just saw them last week. They're right next, a whole community is right next to where the food program is served, and they're going on 5 years. Imagine living in a tent for 5 years without electricity, without a bathroom, without a refrigerator. 5 years. And so these kids, they have to go out and get water and bring it back to take a shower, to drink, to use for daily life. There's been cholera. There's been just lines and lines of children ever since the earthquake coming to eat because it just devastated Port-au-Prince, as you know. But we were able to help during that time in a greater way because more resources came in and our partners were able to truck in food from the Dominican Republic and serve it. This is Lavaris Godin. He's the program manager. He's a person that when Father Jean-Just died, left his business in Miami where he was living. He's Haitian and always wanted to return to Haiti, but he returned right away after Father Jean-Just died, leaving his business, his apartment, his radio show, all of the things that he had his life in Miami to go and to serve in this capacity. And he's still there just working so hard and so grateful to have this opportunity to make such a difference. So there's Lavaris with some water. I came down and helped serve meals. So many children came. Thousands of people in some day, up to 5,000 in those early days after the earthquake were served. And because the food program had been going on for 10 years, they were able to respond, and we were so grateful that all the cooks and everybody survived that earthquake, and they were able to just keep the food flowing and to offer a place in the afternoon for kids to come because the schools were shut down and to provide a source of comfort and learning. And they just rallied together, this community, so resilient with such a tremendous, devastating experience. And after the earthquake, we had to leave the St. Clair's Rectory building. And we bought some land close by, and so ever since then, the food program and the other programs have taken place underneath this tarp and in a little rented building nearby. But this is where the food program is taking place now as we wait to build and construct permanent buildings. So the earthquake kind of shifted the whole location of where the programs are too. And now the food is very heavy, as you can see from his face there, very heavy, but this is cooked in one spot and then brought over to where the kids are eating underneath that tarp, and then the cooks are serving the meals. And as you can see in this shot, sometimes it even rains underneath the tarp if the tarp rips with the winds, but the meals are still being served. And through it all, tremendous praying and prayers going up to praying for the strength to hold on, for the strength to Kenbe Fem, for the strength to remain present and strong amidst tremendous difficulties. So the faith that the Haitian people led them through that difficult time. Another tremendous Haitian saying, l'espoir fait vivre, that I want you to know about. It means hope makes life. When you have hope, then there is life. And these meals over the years, I've questioned sometimes. I know we're not changing the reasons why Haitians are hungry. I know that that's not what our capacity is within the What If Foundation. And yet those meals, what I've been told over and over, they create hope. They're nourishing the children. And now over 15 years, kids that were 1 year old when it started are now 16. So they've had meals over the years, and it is providing nourishment for them. And hope for the future. that they have not been forgotten, that there are people far away that are standing in solidarity with them and helping them with food right now during a period where their parents aren't able to buy it because the jobs and the income isn't there. These two girls were just at the food program last week, and I took a picture of them. And you can see in their faces that brightness, that light, that hope, that kind of beauty that is present in the midst of challenges. And great hope comes also through the opportunity for an education. And so with every child that receives a scholarship, they have hope for their future. For many and all, I think, of the students that are receiving scholarships are the first in their family to go to school. So the first in their family to really have the opportunity to learn to read and write and develop critical thinking and other skills to be able to contribute. And so they take that very seriously. And as the neighborhood watches the beginnings of our building project that we've been working on and waiting for the last few years, there is great hope that in this community there'll be a center, a kitchen, a cafeteria, and a new neighborhood school for them, for those who are here who don't have another school to go to, don't have another meal to fall back on. This building that we're working on is a beacon of hope and light in the neighborhood, and so we're very excited about that. This is Beatrice and her sons, and she comes to the food program almost every day. And this is something that she told us. We are living with the grace of God and this food program. I don't know what I would do without these meals. I live with my mother and sisters and our children. There are 10 of us living in 2 small rooms. The people in the kitchen usually give me some food to take home with me if some of our children are not able to come to the food program. I have not been able to go to school myself, but my children have hope thanks to these community programs. God bless everyone who is helping provide this meal. Thank you for remembering us. This little girl receives a school scholarship, and she's the president of the Economic Development Club. And can you see why? She's just given me that microphone, and I've got some things to say. And she's awesome. And the Economic Development Club, I found out last week, just a month ago, started a cooperative with students and their parents where they've bought Haitian rice, and they are dividing it up and learning kind of marketing skills and entrepreneurial skills, and then they're selling it in small quantities and then bringing the profits back and then dividing them up. So there's this entrepreneurial activity that the Economic Development Club that is sprung out of the after-school program is happening, and so there's hope. And there are things happening that are helping people have an income and become more self-sufficient. She's your age, those of you here, students at Wingate. And I spoke with the students in Haiti that we sponsor, the ones who are older, the ones who are closer to your age, and I asked them if they had any message for you. And they were all excited that I was coming here. They were excited to know that there were students that knew about them, students who read the book, students who knew about T plus Caso. And they were just honored to be able to send a message to you. They felt a connection to you. And this one quote from Paula kind of sums up what all of them said when I talked to them. This is their message for you. Keep studying. Students are the hope of the world. Students are the hope of the world, Paula said. She's your age. We will be studying too. And then we will put our hands together to help save the world and create peace. Let me read that again from Paula to you. Keep studying. Students are the hope of the world. We will be studying too, and then we will put our hands together to help save the world and create peace. I loved that because she talks about putting our hands together. That it's going to take a world where our hands are together, nation to nation, where we reach out across the globe. Your generation, you guys are the leaders of the future. You here, your brothers and sisters in Haiti and throughout the world, you are the leaders that are coming up. And it's going to take putting your hands together, kind of moving beyond the borders and the things that divide us. So much in our world is about differences and about separation, about us, them, and that often creates fear, that creates divisiveness, that creates war, that creates tremendous conflict. And what it's going to take to change this world is to us to come together in unity. It's going to be about us learning about each other. It's going to be about faith, knowledge, and service, those three values that you hold so dear here at Wingate. It's going to be about you reaching beyond your own lives to others. It's going to be reaching out. It's going to be about reaching out and holding another's hand. And not just through the phone and your iPhones. Because your generation is a special one. Gosh, you guys are smart. You're so smart. My son is 22 and a senior in college, so I've got a window into your generation. Technologically, I mean, you guys are like off the charts brilliant. I mean, boom, 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 done. And you can like say something in like 5 words. Your Twitter, and that's even like, and now in Instagram and Facebook, but I think Facebook is becoming passé for your generation maybe, and you've moved on to other things. I mean, you're going so fast. I mean, it's just incredible how you're connected. But you know what I don't want you to forget, and this is why I loved Paula's line here so much. After you keep studying, we're going to put our hands together. She's talking about you and them. She's talking about students here and students in other parts of the world. Hands together. And we got to make it personal. I don't want you guys to forget how important it is for face-to-face contact, for heart-to-heart connection, so that it's not so separate by just screen time. So just be open to having experiences where you step into an experience with another person, another country. And I know you've got, is it Winter National? Awesome. Yes, we got to go out and meet and expand so we can connect as a world and start focusing on our collective humanity and the similarities about us instead of our differences. That's so key. So this is my son Luke, who was just 8 when he came with me to Haiti, and you read about him in the book. I think he celebrated his 9th birthday in the book. And now he's in college, and he's got that microphone. And the reason I put that there is because your voice is needed. So we had the president of the Economic Development Club. We had Paula, the student who had that message for you. And now we've got you. Luke is representing your generation here in the United States. Boy, your voice is needed. We need you to rise up and follow your heart and reach out to others and put those principles of faith, knowledge, and service into action in whatever way, with small steps, holding on firm through those obstacles, together with other people. And there's a few other things I'm going to leave you with before I close. And they're messages that appear on Haitian tap-taps. And tap-taps are the public transportation. A lot of people will then get on this truck, and that's what will take them from one town to another. And they're very brightly colored, and they have all these amazing sayings all over them, and it kind of represents the brightness, the artistic, creative, expressive side of Haitians. So here's one, perseverance. So I was driving, we were in a car going through Port-au-Prince, and then this perseverance sign comes across. And I take that as a sign for myself. Margaret, you must persevere in this work. Each of us needs to persevere in our life. And I looked it up. I was just curious. What's the exact perseverance definition? And it says, to continue in a course of action even in the face of difficulty or with little or no prospect of success. Not giving up, to keep doing something until the end, even if it's hard. So as you follow your hearts and you follow that path that you're just beginning to carve out here at Wingate, know there will be challenges, but persevere through them. If you feel that calling in your heart, if you want to express yourself in a particular way to make a difference, persevere. Hang in there. remain strong. La patience est amère, mais son fruit est doux. I just took this picture on Saturday as I was going to the airport. This tap-tap was passing the car that was taking me to the airport to fly me back to the States. And it means patience is tough, or literally like patience can be sour, but fruit is sweet. The fruit is sweet. And what that means, my Haitian friends were telling me, is like, oh, sometimes it's hard to be patient. Hard to be patient. But as you are patient, and as you persevere, it's sweet when you get there to the end with your goal, what you're working on. So persevere in your studies here and be patient with yourself and with others as you learn and with what you're working on. And boy, have I had to learn patience with the What If Foundation, because I, would like things to move more quickly, and it's just causing me to really develop that virtue of patience. And then here's another one that I'll show you just before we close here. And you can hardly see it, but at the top there, l'Éternel est ma force. The eternal is my strength. God is my strength. Spirit is my strength. And that's on the top of that tap-tap, and I can't underestimate the power of faith in the Haitian people's lives and the importance of it in our own lives. That strength comes from deep within and around us to help call us forward and lift us up when things are difficult and move us to a place where we are all collectively working in harmony for a world where children are not hungry, where everybody has the opportunity to receive an education, where the priorities of the world change. You'll be part of changing those priorities. So this picture here is us in a farm, kind of a cornfield farm where some things are being grown, and the after-school program is visiting and learning about corn and how to make peanut butter and other things, and we're all holding hands. So it's about that menan pil chai palu, many hands make the load lighter. We need to work together. And this, the What If Foundation and our partners in Haiti that are now their own nonprofit and called N'Arrivé, we're a micro example of a healthy partnership of a US-based nonprofit in solidarity and partnership with Haitian people, a Haitian community. And the answers are within Haiti. It's like going from the inside out, not bringing in ideas and kind of forcing them on Haitians saying, we know what's best for you. It's like, no, they know what's best for them. They know what needs to be done. They know what the priorities are. They're living there, and so we need to support that. And so it's from the inside out that change can happen, and that's a very important model. And this picture symbolizes that. So this is my final slide and message before we move into questions and answers, and it's just a sign that they had, and they know that those of you who are freshmen and came in for your orientation, that there was a hunger banquet and money was raised that'll go to provide meals, and they say thank you for all. In Creole, that would be merci en pile pour tout. Thank you so much for all. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for using your lives to make the world a more just and loving place. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for following your heart. Thank you for having the courage to make a difference, even when others might want to talk you out of it or make you feel like you're crazy to follow your dreams. Thank you for remembering to take small steps. Thank you for remembering to work together with others, cooperatively, not competitively. Cooperatively is how we're going to be able to change the world, one small step at a time. I really picture the world in my mind as a beautiful mosaic, and each one of us is a piece. And I feel that as we follow the guidance that we're given inside, follow what lights you up and excites you, that you're one of each piece will go together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful picture. Each one of us doing a little bit. So I thank you for this opportunity to share some of the wisdom that's been shared with me in my journey, which continues. Today is Wednesday. Thank you. I've been traveling a lot lately. I've kind of lost track. There was a meal served today to over 1,000 children. Children gathered at the after-school program after going to school, so the program Work in Haiti continues while I'm here. Our partners are working hard, and those kids are studying hard, and they encourage you to do the same, knowing that you are leaders with them for a world that we pray will be more loving, more just, and more peace. So thank you again for this opportunity tonight to talk to you. Thank you.